Hello, good people. Welcome back to Global Happenings today. As Fubara has been spayed for a while from the hands of Wike, the people of the FCT are feeling him so much, especially in the area of building demolition. And right now, as you can check our feed, you will see that the Senate has mandated Wike to halt every form of building demolition and appear before a committee in the Senate to explain the reason why he is taking the action he's doing. But then Wike has sent a strong message out to all and sundry that as long as he exists as a minister, he will continue with demolition. Let's listen to him and get to hear exactly his position as he opened up during the handing over of 50 operational vehicles to security agencies in FCT in Abuja today. The minister, who decried activities of land grabber in the territory, said, "We will stop anyone who thinks he can obtain government lands for whatever reason without formal approval."
Of Abuja, we are not afraid of blackmail. In fact, you cannot be in this kind of position, you say you will not be blackmailed. Particularly as regards this Abuja. There are so many land grabbers. Some of us have come to put our feet down. Let heaven fall. It is even better that heaven comes down now. So I will not be fasting again to go to heaven. We will stop anybody who thinks that they can take government land for whatever without formal approval. We will not look at your face. If you like, you can be a civil rights activist. If you like, you can be a television talker. What is wrong is wrong. No amount of blackmail can stop us. People take government property without approval, without document. And I have told people that there was a government yesterday, the government did not take any step, does not mean that another government will come today and will not take step. Or even if this government does not, tomorrow another government will come, that government may take step. That he did something 15 years ago does not mean it is right. It does not mean it is right. The mere fact that nobody tried to tell you it is not right does not make it right. You cannot take blackmail to get something from government. You can't. You cannot. Recently, we told Jonas Brother to quit from the southern business area. When Jonas Brother came to Abuja, they asked for a site for them to do their construction. That site does not mean it belongs to Jonas Brother. Jonas Brother has finished their job. They have to quit the land. You cannot tell me if they give you a site to, because of your construction, you finish, the land now turns to be your own. Is it possible? Show us the document that belongs to you. I'm not that kind of person you can think that you go on television, oh, I was living there 20 years ago. So what? You're a squatter. So what? You're a squatter. If you like, go and carry everybody. What is wrong is wrong. You go back, you send people to beg me, then you go on television to tell people that they came to take their land. You said the land was allocated to a river. So what? The river is not entitled to have a land in Abuja. You will tell me who is that person that is entitled to have a land in Abuja? You can't tell me that. If you want me to go and publish names of people who have land in Abuja, I'll go and publish, let Nigeria see. If you want land, you know the right thing to do. You know the right step to take. Through blackmail, you won't get it. You don't get it. If your husband had a company who did a job for Abuja and had a site to stay, then it doesn't make it your husband's property. It doesn't. It doesn't. It is for you to come and say, please, we have this problem. How do you help us? And not to begin to blackmail people, carry people to go to social media. Mr. Wike has come to carry somebody's land. He gave it to one house of response. Ask chairman of FCT, who does not have land in National Assembly. Ask him. Who does not? So, I mean, some of us, you cannot get us by blackmail. Forget it. If you have problem, come to us. who know how to help you, who know how to solve the problem. Not, oh, I'm a woman. Oh, because I'm a woman. What is that? Because you're a woman, you can't carry government land. It is not so. Let anybody tell the person, bring the document to prove that that property is your property. So many of them like that. I have published it on newspaper and people thought I'm joking. Let me say it here. All of you are saying we are providing vehicles. With which money? Let me tell you, and some of us may not understand this. What does LCT get in a month from the federal government allocation? If the federal government gets 1 trillion a month, for example, we take 1%, and that is 10 billion naira. Assuming federal government gets 1 trillion a month in terms of the allocation, 1% of 10 trillion, 1 trillion, is 10 billion. Today, the salary of this staff, yes, the salary today is no less than 13, 14 billion a month. So why would you get the other one? It's through taxes. It's through revenue. You are talking about Wike is working. Roads here, flyover here. You own a property, pay your ground rent. You will pay. Then every day say Wike is working. You work with his blood. I mean, I've never seen people like this. You don't sit down to ask, where is this money for flyovers coming? Where is this money for derivation coming from? There's no oil here. We are not collecting derivation. It's only what the federal government gets in a month. They give us 1%. 1%. So we must come very, 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 very strong. All those who have not paid, who thought we are joking, I am going to revoke all. I am going to do it. You think that that will happen? Something will happen. Don't come and be praising me. I'm doing bridge. I'm doing this. With what? So if you know whether you are seated here, go and check your record. If you have not paid, I will give you time to pay. But once the time expires, forget it. I will revoke it and allocate to those who will pay. I need money to do the roads. I need money to provide services in the satellite town. I will not use my blood. Even my blood. How much?
And I must say that this is going to turn things around. I'm telling you. He's talking about the issue of generating revenue. And if he's talking about the issue of generating revenue, then I think the government will stand by him, because what he's saying is that the bills on ground for salary payment and the likes need to meet up with the revenue generated. In other words, the revenue generated must be enough to pay the bills of the civil servant and also to meet up with developmental project of FCT. And for that reason, he must continue to make demands on people to pay ground rent. And if you can't pay it, he will revoke it when the time comes. That's quite serious, my colleagues in the House. What's the standpoint on the aggressive move of Wike to generate revenue by all means, whether it means to demolish your house or demolish anything? He doesn't mind.
Well, if you ask me, this is a very nice way of getting monies, especially when it comes to the fact that Nigeria is very indebted, and that generating the money. But don't forget something unique. One of those unique things we shouldn't forget is that whatever we test run in this country, good or bad, if it works and there is no resistance, it becomes a staying factor. Right now, FCT is testing it. If it works, Lagos should be the next and other states will follow, because tax may be the next oil and gas that we are seeing here. And since oil is no longer giving much as we should, it's expected, so taxation, Nigerians will squeeze. But being an aggressive person, I don't see him backing down. The only way he will back down is if the FCTA will meet him, pace for pace. But if you ask me, I don't know how the president will look at it, because right now the president will be liking it because he's really getting money somehow in a place where he's not expecting so much, and Wike is really doing a good job. But it is at the expense of his re-election. I can tell you for free that Wike may not, with these moves Wike is making, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu may not get 5 votes from FCT, Abuja, 5%. He may not get 5% vote. And if he will get it, it's probably from his aides, his senior special assistants, except INEC decide to give more votes than ever. But except the president will find a way around this, because this whole issue of democracy is for the people. Now, when you begin to do it and you're doing it against the people, it's no longer democracy. We are partisan and nothing. But I'm just wondering if Wike have made up his mind not to respond to the summon, because he said heaven will not fall, he will continue to demolish, he will continue to do this, continue to do that. But they should not forget that right now there's, but if you know, if you ask me personally, this is a bit dicey, but I think he would have at least, listen to these guys. If they are unable to pay ground rent, give them a time frame.
That's what he's saying.
They can pay a in tranches.
Well, the issue here is that, according to him, this particular Igbebo issue, which has generated a lot of controversy, based on what Lere Olayinka had said, it's like these guys were being given that demand for land rent as far as ground rent, as far as some, 1 year ago. That's according to him. But the amount is really much. That's almost 60 million. I don't know if it's done on the basis of, square meter and all of that. But however, it's really much. So they said, if you can't pay it, then you should shift and another person will, because according to him, whatever he is doing is to see how he can generate revenue for the government. And I think this will be an escape route for him when he appears before Senate. If he says, whatever I'm doing, I'm not breaking the law, I'm only trying to tell people, come on, pay your rent, ground rent for developmental strive of the government. And if he follows that route, I think a lot of people will just say, terms of, especially for the rich, they won't care what you're passing to. What they know is that, come on, if you don't know how, if you can't pay, then you quit.
But it is solely for the elites.
Yes, exactly. So, but then I know that he has the people to contend with. You understand?
But let's say I place that, because I do know that this is not the final tenure of the president. So issues like this, you totally care. The elite has only one vote. The poor have one vote, and the poor they are much more than the elite. So if the poor decide to come against that very elite that the elites are supporting, or yours is your name, except of course there will be another move that the people, Nigerians, will shout INEC. Other than that, let's say it plays out.
All right, that's where we would like to leave it. Let's meet our conversation and talk more on this. Thank you very much.